and welcome to yet another episode of Frankly Speaking with Dr. Sanjay Modi. This is an initiative by Definitive Homeopathy to address all queries pertaining to homeopathy, its principles and practice. Dr. Sanjay Modi believes that when all queries of a practitioner are answered to utmost satisfaction, they gain more confidence in the pathy and subsequently in its practice. So here we try to put up questions to Sir, questions which are frequently on the minds of practitioners, which they have asked either on the Facebook page or personally to Sir. So Sir, the question today is that whoever has attended your workshops or your webinars has frequently found you saying that homeopathy is not a science. Why so?
Let me clear a little. It's not that I say homeopathy is not a science, but I keep saying that time and again, yes, that homeopathy is far from being a science. There's a difference between homeopathy not a science and homeopathy far from being a science. And I agree and I stand to my statement saying so that homeopathy is far from being a science. Please look this thing from my perspective and my pains rather. It's more than a perspective, it's the pain that I've been experiencing this for years together. For me, how do you define science? So, a true science for me has to address following concerns. So let's enumerate what are the concerns that any science generally addresses. The first and the foremost is it generates a unifying spirit. So that all the users of that science could operate with a common understanding. So as to ensure a uniformity in applying that scientific method of prescribing. What I mean by it is this, that if in a mobile, let's talk about a mobile, if the right hand side corner button is for a camera, for everyone it's going to be for camera. There is a uniformity in applying that particular method. So that's the first part of it, which I find lacking. The second is the concern that science addresses is simplification of applying data. So that an average intelligent person can also successfully use that science. You don't have to be super intelligent the way it's usually portrayed in homeopathic world. I don't think so. Hahnemann has very clearly formulated homeopathy that a person with an average intelligence or average knowledge will practice good homeopathy. Is what I'm talking about. That also I don't see it happening. Third thing that it generally addresses is uniform output, such that the end results are within tolerance limits. They generally come down to very similar to, but within tolerance limits. And there are no major variations when everybody else is reaching at the outcome, which also I don't find available in homeopathy. And the fourth part, science generally popularizes so that more and more population can take advantage of that scientific discovery, like a mobile again, so easy to use. Everybody has been now, whether he is educated, uneducated, whatever level of understanding somebody has, the mobile will definitely
is been so not only made easy, but it's been made also very popular. Now, this is what I have been understanding what science is. If I ask you a question again, that do you feel that's what happening with our science system? You can as well answer. That's why I'm saying that homeopathy is far from being a science. Now, the question that will come to you is, okay, what needs to be done to make homeopathic more scientific? So I have a lot of data to support how to make it more scientific. But to give you one or two instances or an example right at the outset. Firstly, the profession needs to be impartial to successful as well as unsuccessful cases are treated in the profession. Our overall stress is always for successful cases. We have never heard an unsuccessful case in the profession. Now that is suicidal for a science. One of the other things which I have been talking time and again is this, that it is time to acknowledge and incorporate the importance of placebo response. Because very few people know that much work has been done and it is proved beyond doubt that it is no longer a psychological trick. There is a physiology involved in placebo response. And if you see the work that has been done, you will be amazed to understand that the pathway, when you give a painkiller to relieve the pain and you give a placebo, is the same. So the pathway to relief is the same whether you give a painkiller or a placebo in a human being. That much amount of work has been done. Now, how will that affect scientificity of homeopathy is a question that will come to many listeners' mind. For that, I will have to do a detailed, either a lecture or a webinar on the relevance of placebo response to practitioners, maybe sometime later. But meanwhile, I can just refer to my book, Accurate Homeopathy, in which I have covered this chapter of placebo response. So feel free to refer to this chapter. Thank you so much. And I hope it answers your question.
Thank you, sir, for answering this question. I think this is one question that has been on the minds of every person who has ever practiced homeopathy and who has come across people of different pathies. For so many years, we have always been told that homeopathy is just placebo or homeopathy is not scientific. And we have lost confidence on practice. At least personally, I have lost confidence on practice because I have not been able to explain to people why it is a science, because I myself have not been sure about it. So today, this question not only answers my doubts, but also gives me a lot of confidence on the fact that I am practicing a pathi that is based on science. Thank you so much, sir. For more videos and more information, please visit the Facebook page of Definitive Homeopathy. Questions like these, which might have troubled you through your practice or have caused difficulties in practice, please post them in the comment section, and sir will definitely try to address them in the subsequent episodes of Frankly Speaking. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you and God bless you.